Hello my special people, welcome back to another double stitch creations tutorial. This is tutorial part 3 of our cute little rainbow granny square bag. In the previous 2 tutorials we made 2 matching granny squares, both sides of our bag, and today we're going to be working on the border, joining our 2 squares together and making a handle. So what you'll need for today is your 6mm hook. So I'm using yellow yarn. You can use anything that you like. I'm using 8-ply wool, 100% wool. We need your tapestry needle and a pair of scissors. All right, so let's get started. We're going to work with one first. I'm just going to put a nice yellow border on it, and this will help us with joining both of our granny squares together. So I'm just gonna, we're working mostly into the top of our granny square, so you're looking for these V-shaped stitches here. All right, so I'm just gonna attach it here to the side. So put my hook under both the top of the stitch, so under both those loops there, grabbing yarn and leaving a tail. I make a little loop and I put it on the crochet hook and I pull it back through that stitch. Then I grab my tail. Then I yarn over and pull it all the way through, and then I put my hook back into that loop and pull it tight. Now if you remember how you hold your yarn, so I hook my pinky under the yarn, I turn my hand so the pointer can go under here, and then my little pinches, this index finger and thumb, they come and they hold your work close to the hook. The closer to the hook, the easier it is to control. Alright, so we're going to do a single crochet. Oh no, we're going to chain one first, so to secure it. So yarn over, or putting your hook under the yarn. This is our working yarn. So under our working yarn, hooking it, pulling back through the loop on a hook and pull it tight. Now we're going back into that same stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, so you've got 2 loops in your hook, yarn over and pull through both. And that's our first single crochet. And then we're just moving along to the next stitch along. So you're working in the top of our granny square here, putting our hook under both those loops of the stitch. So it's like a V, it makes a V shape, the stitch, so you know that you've got the top of it. Yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through both. And then one more, move along to the next stitch, doing another single crochet. Now you come to your chain space, so all we're going to do is put our hook through that chain space, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through both. And now we're doing our 3, working in the tops of our 3 double crochets here, and we're doing single crochets though. So I'm going into the top of that double crochet, yarning over, pulling up a loop, 2 loops on a hook, yarn over and pull through both, and that's another single crochet. So you're doing another single crochet, so it's like 3 single crochets, and then you do a single crochet into the chain space. And now again we're doing another single crochet. So here's our 3 single crochets into the tops of our double stitch into the tops of our double stitches. Then we've come to another chain space. So I'm just putting my hook into that chain space, yarning over, pulling up a loop, 2 loops on hook, yarn over and pull through both. So that's another single crochet. Now we're coming to the corner. So we'll do our single crochets into the first of 3 double crochets. So 3 single crochets here. Now we come to the corner chain space. So here we're going to do 2 single crochets into the same space. So into that chain space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both. Then into the same chain space, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through both. And now we're coming to the tops of our double crochet. again. So we're going to do 3 single crochets along here. So that's 1, then moving to the next double crochet, doing another single crochet, that's 2, and then moving along 3. Now into our chain space, so this time it's just 1 single crochet. Then we are back working into the tops of the double crochet stitch again. So 1 single crochet, next single crochet, and we're just repeating this really all the way back to start. So chains into the chain space now, just all single crochets, just working along the edge of our granny square. And you're just kind of doing 3 single crochets and then a single crochet into the chain space. And we're just going to continue and go all the way around. All right, we're coming to another corner. So once more, you put 2 single crochets into the corner. So 2 single crochets into the same corner space. And then we are going around the corner, working into the tops of our double crochets from the previous row. Then single crochet in the chain space, and then our single crochets into the tops of our double crochets. And just keep repeating that all the way around back to the start. And I will get back to you I will get back to you when you get back to here. So just working, continue doing single crochets all the way along. Remember to do 2 single crochets into the corner and just go all the way around till you get back to here, and then I will get back to you to finish this granny square off. All right, we're nearly back to the start, so I'm just doing my last 3 double crochets here. And then 1 in the chain space. Now what you're going to do is this very first stitch of the yellow, so this one here, put your hook into that stitch under both those loops. We can get it in, there we go. Now we're going to yarn over, pull that loop back through the stitch. Now we're going to do a slip stitch, so we're pulling the front loop through the back loop. And now you can cut it off, leaving a tail. Then yarn over and pull it all the way through. Now get the 2 ends and just give them a little knot. And now you're going to weave it in, weave in the end. So I'm just going to weave this in and out of the border. Just in and out. Back and forth. Just tucking it away and securing it. And then trim it. And do the same for this side, for this end. Alright, once you're happy with that, just trim it. Okay, so now you need to go and do the yellow border around the next granny square. So go ahead and do that, and then I'll get back to you to show you how to join the two squares together and to make our handle. So go around and put a yellow border around here, exactly the same as this one. Remember, we're doing 1 single crochet into the chain spaces along, and then in the corner it's 2 single crochets. So just go ahead and do that, and then I'll get back to you to join our two sides together and to finish off our bag. Okay, now that we've finished both our borders, we're going to join the two sides together to make our little bag. So just putting one square on top of the other, right? And we're going to start at the very, you want to start at the very top of your bag, making sure the corners are joined nicely. So you want to start here with that. See how we've done 2 single crochets in the chain space? Start with the first single crochet in this chain space. Put your hook through the top of that first single crochet, and let's do the same on the second piece, on the piece underneath. Put it here. We want to start at the very top of our bag so that we have a nice join, because we're going to crochet around here, around here, and then we're going to do our handle. And then we'll leave this open so we can put our little treasures in. So making sure our hook is going through both sides of our granny square, grab your yellow yarn, just undo this knot, make a loop, put it on your hook and pull it back through both pieces of our both squares, girding your tail, hooking it and pulling all the way through the loop and putting our hook back in the loop. Pull it tight, and then we're going to do a chain 1 to secure it. So yarn over and pull it back through, chain 1. Now we're going to do a single crochet through both. So you've got to make sure this time that we're going through this side and this side. So make sure your hook goes through and going back into the same stitches that we just did to attach the yarn. 2 loops and a hook, yarn over and pull through both. So that's 1 single crochet. Now what I did here is I just did a little chain stitch in between each single crochet to make it little. See how it's just giving it a nice little edge. You don't have to do that. You can just do straight single crochets, or you're just going to do a little chain stitch in between each stitch. So to do that is you just do a chain stitch. So yarn over and pull the loop back through the loop on your hook. And now we're going into the next stitch along, and I'm joining and making sure that I'm going through both sides. Then yarning over, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through both. Now do another chain stitch if you want to do that little edge, and then going through the next stitch and doing a single crochet. And making sure you're gathering both sides of the squares. So joining the two granny squares together. Then I'm doing a little chain stitch, then I'm doing a single crochet into both sides of my granny square. And we're just going to repeat that all the way along, going into every single crochet of our yellow border and just doing another single crochet. But I'm doing a little fancy little stitch, just chain stitch, just to give it a little nice little trim. But if you could just do single crochets all the way along if you like. So chain stitch and then single crochet, making sure I'm getting both stitches. You also want to make sure that it's still matching so that you haven't, because you want your squares to match. So chain stitch and then a single crochet. And so just the chain stitch just gives it a little, very subtle, but just a nice little trim on the edge of our bag. Now I'm up to a single crochet and then a chain stitch. And as you can see, both sides are joining together because I'm making sure I'm going through both sides. And just keep checking that it's still matching. Single crochet and then a chain stitch. Single crochet and then a chain stitch. All the way down, joining both sides together. All right, coming up to a corner, and we're just gonna continue. We're just doing our single crochets and chain stitches all the way around. So joining both the sides of the corners together, single crochet, chain stitch, just going into each single crochet from the previous round. And just all right, so keep going, doing your single crochets and your chain, little, if you choose, your little chain stitch in between. And I will get back to you when we get, I'll get back to you when we get up to here to show you how to do the handle. So just keep making sure you're joining both sides together and checking to make sure it's even. Single crochet, chain stitch all the way around, back. Just stop here because you don't want to close. You want to be able to put your treasures in here, so you want to stop here. All right, and I'll get back to you when we get back to here to show you how to do the handle. And then our bag is done. It's getting exciting. Alrighty, we're coming up to the last bit of our single crochets and chain stitches, so I'm just going to do this last. And again, you want to see how in this previous round we did 2 single crochets. We want to make sure we finish in that second single crochet where we put the second one. So I'm still joining both sides together. This is my first single crochet that was in that chain space. And now we're just going to do a single crochet only into that very last stitch at the very top of our bag. Right, just so that it closes nicely at the top. And that's our edging done and our bag joined together. Looking pretty good. And so now the handle, what we're going to do is just do 35 chains. So yarn over, pulling it back through the loop on your hook. That's 1, 2, and keep going till you get to 35. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. All right, so now you want to make sure your chain's not twisted, so just run your thumb around so that the flat side of the chain is all going the same way. And now just go this very first stitch, put your hook in the top of this very first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops in your hook. Now just pull the front loop through the back loop and do oops, I lost it. Going into the top of that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops in your hook. I think we'll just do a single crochet here. So just yarn over and pull through both just to secure it to the other side. So you could stop here with your handle, but it will get a bit stretchy. So what we're going to do is to make it just a little not so stretchy, a little bit more solid, is we're just going to, from here, we're going to chain 1. And we're going to turn our work, and we're doing single crochets around the chain, not into the chain, around it. So I'm going here, I'm going under that chain, so the whole chain is over my hook, yarning over, pulling up a loop. So you've got 2 loops in your hook, yarn over and pull through both. That's 1 single crochet. Now, I didn't really count how many I think I did about 6. It doesn't matter. Just try and keep them close together, but you're just going around the chain. So making the yarn, putting your hook under the chain, yarning over, going back under the chain, pulling up a loop, 2 loops on your hook. So just wrapping it around the chain, try and keep the stitches close together. I'm just going around the chain with single crochets. And we're going to do that all the way to the end. See how I'm going around or under the chain completely. Now I'm just doing a single crochet. I'm trying to keep my stitches close together. And it is going to look a bit funny at first. It's okay. Okay, so it's starting to look like that. And just keep going all the way to the other end. And it doesn't matter how many single crochets you do, just try and keep them close together. Like you can pull it back a little bit.
Just keep going all the way to your end.
All right, and getting close to the end, so just keep going. And now once you get back to the end, just go into this stitch here at the very start and just do a single crochet just to secure it. And now, as you can see, it's all twisting and stuff, so we want it to stop twisting, well, as much as possible. We'll twist a little bit, but just make it not twist as much. What we're going to do is chain one, turn, and we're going to repeat. We're going to do the same thing. This time we're going over all of these stitches, so going around the chain and around our stitches again. So just doing single crochets back over our handle to make it even firmer, and just keeping them nice and close and tight. So just repeating what we just did. It doesn't really matter how many stitches you do, but just keep them as close as you can to each other to flatten out our handle a bit more, and that way it'll stop it twisting from so much. So just keep going, single crochets around our handle back to the other end. Once you get to the end, you just want to slip stitch. You just want to go into this stitch here at the end of your handle, then yarn over, pull up a loop, and we're just going to pull the front loop through the back loop and do a slip stitch. Now get your scissors and cut it off. Cut the yarn, leaving a tail. Then yarn over and pull that yarn all the way through. Pull it tight. Then just get your two ends and knot them together. And then you just want to get your tapestry needle and weave the ends in and out of your bag, just back and forth, securing it away. Then trim it. And do the same for this one. Again, just tucking it away, in and out, back and forth. And then once more, give it a trim. And that completes our rainbow granny square bag. And now you can put all your little treasures in, like this. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed making this bag. Please like and subscribe, it truly does help me out more than you know. And if you have any comments, any questions, or you want something from me, or you like me to design something for you to make, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.